is up, everybody? I am having an absolute nightmare today trying to get this forecast video done. I literally recorded the first one. For some reason, the microphone just it was just not working. So I basically recorded a really good video, 30 minutes, fantastic, didn't work. And I just started re-recording it, got 15 minutes in, and then for some reason my laptop shut down. It's just been a nightmare. Maybe it's fate that, you got to push through it, right? But a couple of pairs I want to look at this week in forecast. I'm not going to go over any of the pairs we discussed in the recap video. I think that video was long enough. It was 30 minutes. I went into a lot of detail on quite a few pairs that we were trading. So, if you didn't take the time to watch that video, then you're not really going to take the time to watch this video either. And if you do want to know anything about any of the GB pairs or AU or Swissy or silver, please do just watch the other video. There's a lot of content in there as well for you to kind of absorb. So I don't want to overstimulate you or put too much out there and make these videos too long. So what I wanted to really just focus on for this video was a couple of pairs I had lined up. I have done quite a bit more marking up here, which I will delete because I was basically marking it up as I go to highlight some areas for you guys. But we'll just discuss them. So I really just wanted to discuss Aussie Yen, Eurocad, Euro Swissy, EURJPY. I also wanted to discuss gold, and I also wanted to discuss Euro USD. Let me just put a little flag next to that. And I think that was it, to be honest, guys. I think that was it. Keep it shorter this week. It's quite late now as well. Market's about to open, so I need to get on. Let's jump straight into it. Going to look at Aussie Yen straight up. The first pair we're going to look at, obviously, this pair correlates really nicely to our Aussie dollar pair. So I will be looking to get short in this pair potentially quite soon into the market open. I'm hoping we do see a little bit of risk off action coming into play. Just to give us a bit more strength on the back of our AU trade and also our AJ trade. Although potentially our pound trades may suffer on the back of that. We've taken most of the profit off on those. So looking at Aussie Yen, I've highlighted a few key areas which I'm looking at. First key area up here is obviously this level of support here. Why I'm looking at this area is, quite frankly, you can see here it is being held here as quite a key support here. Obviously acting as a double top in this formation here, which this whole leg came down. But you can see retesting this level here, sellers kicked in quite heavy there. So we can kind of expect this area to be quite a strong one for sellers. As you can see, we have had a couple of daily closes above this level, but Friday gave us a daily close back below this level with no clear buyer pressuring coming up after we closed above it. So that does signal some potential weakness for me being below this level right now. Other level I've got marked is obviously this level here, the 73.3 level. You can see it's acted as resistance here, and then it's supported the pair moving forward throughout here. One of the reasons why I've kind of highlighted it as a level for myself is you can see it's been quite crucial within this sort of range here, holding the pair up. So that's kind of kept it in there. So breaking it down into the 4-hour chart, obviously we can see that there has been a trend line structure break in there. And that has also led to us closing beneath this resistance level. We didn't hold a support for long enough. So now we're looking to basically get back in on the retest. So how we're looking to play this, quite frankly, is obviously we can see we've got a little bit of a double top formation forming here potentially. And with any double top formation, what we're looking to do is get into a retest of this neckline, which will be this area here. So you can see I sent the graph out on Friday. I didn't enter on Friday because it's Friday. I'm not going to enter trades on Friday. No point. So what I'm going to look for on market open, hopefully no gaps. That would be nice. We'll see. We'll see when the market opens. It'll probably open up during this while I'm filming this, to be fair. But I'd like to get on this 50 retracement from this high to this low down here. You can see how that level comes in quite nicely with our confluence of these areas. So like with everything, you want to be kind of using confirmations in the form of confluences. So 1 or 2, 3, 4, whatever it works for you. How many confirmation points you need? That's what, I need 3 points of confirmation. Here I've got a double top formation pattern forming in my eyes. So that's one. We got a little bit of a reversal pattern forming here. Obviously, this is a short-term trade looking at the 4-hour, not the daily. So we've got a little bit of a reversal pattern here. We've obviously broken down out of a trend line structure. And now what I'm looking for is an area where I can enter where there's going to be the most pressure, in this mine bearish pressure. And that will obviously be a retest of this structure and also these Fibonacci levels. So we can see the 0.5 level marries up really nicely here with this broken neckline and also this this area of resistance. So how are we going to play the trade? Quite simply, as you can see with the Fibonacci extensions, our -6.2 extension lines up nicely with that level of support I was talking about on the daily. You can see it here in the 4 hour. So that would be the main profit taking area right here, around about 120 pips. It still gives us a 2.4 risk to reward on that. So there's still a decent, it's better than a 1-to-1. If we wanted to go in at a little shorter stop, keep our stops above the last sort of level of that fib, depending on price action, if that's a, we could definitely price that in, and then we can get our 3 risk to reward on 120 pips, which is definitely possible. Obviously, you just got to be careful with AUD because it can steamroll and just continue to rally. So we don't want to get caught in the back of that, especially when we're already shorting AU. We don't want to do too short on AUD, or else you will get ripped, and when you get ripped, it sucks. So really, that's all I'm looking to do with this pair, is just play this range between this level here and this level here on the support area. We could get a pullback for liquidity down here. As I said, looking at the daily structure here, we still do have these levels, which would still put us above these trendline structures from these highs here. So still very much possible, guys, but that's how I would look to play AJ. We'll see how we play it throughout the week. Not much going on the CAD pairs in my mind, just a lot of sort of range. Sorry about that. We do have a little breakout here. It's obviously holding above trendline structure here, but it's not appealing for me, to be honest. I'd rather be short CAD than long CAD. Looking at the dollar index, obviously, as I mentioned, we're playing a range between this low and this high, so we're still within this range, and we are still also above this Fibonacci level, obviously being this level here. And you can see how if we draw our sort of zone from this fib here, you can see how it's acted as support for this pair. So this is quite an important level. It is a very important level. If the dollar breaks down below this low and it breaks this support level, as you can see with my beautiful artwork here, we could potentially see new lows being made down here at the 95.1-ish area here, or even down further. It all depends on how we hold here. If we break beneath this fib level and we retest it and we get more rejection and we go on to create more lower lows and lower highs, then that's just going to keep melting, guys. As I said, I'm not the dollar's long-term strength. I don't see it happening. So keep an eye on the DXY with that. Obviously, if we start to carve up here and we break this level, then sure, we could retest these up here. But obviously, this is a strong level here with the 61 fib. Just looking at the dollar, guys, if you want to know what's happening with dollar, just always look at the dollar index. It will give you guidance. If you look at that and then you look at pairs like USD Swissy, the price action is very similar. It's a very similar price action, so you can almost mimic it. Just a little tip. Eurcad, obviously we're trading within this sort of triangle pennant forming here, so what we're ideally going to be waiting for, price action's been pretty shitty here, guys, on the 4 hour. It's a lot of range, but we can see this sort of pattern forming, and this is a terminal pattern, right? So it's going to have an outcome either way. So the best way to play this trade, which I highlighted here, this blue box here, how we come to the top of this range. It's also the top of this fib extension from this low here to this high here. You can see how it's acted dynamically as support for the pair here, and it's held the pair numerous times down as resistance. So for me, if I wanted to go long on Eurocad, I would be looking for a breakout, a breakout from this pennant shape, and then I think we could definitely see it retest up here. If we put our stops below there, below the trendline resistance. If it breaks out this way, it can also break out the other way, guys. Keep that in mind. But if we do break out this way and we start to find some supportive break above here, and we do find some supportive sort of bullish price action forming, then as you can see, this extension from this fib level, this low here to this high, which is the range we've been playing in, this fib level marries up beautifully with this level of resistance here. So we could definitely make the prediction that if it does crack above this pennant shape here, and we find some support here with some bullish price action, we can almost expect price to range again or come up to test this level here again, as it has done numerously here. Highlighted this whole area here. So we want to play that range. We want to get in on that range from the bottom and play it to the top. Simple. That would be a nice trade there. Again, a nice 4 risk to reward ratio on that one. And like I said, if you want to play it down to the bottom, then you would be looking at shorts. And I think the shorts would definitely test lows. And, I can see in my mind, you want to, from a risk to reward perspective, this is a more lucrative trade. I'd be hoping for a long rather than a short, because I'd rather get in on that. I think, you can clearly put your stops away from any sort of potential stop hunt, unless it's a false break. Of course, this does happen as well, keep in mind. So really what we've got to wait for is a break and retest, just to make sure that this structure does hold and it does provide support for the pair. But that's how I play Eurocad. I would look. That's what I'm going to be watching for on that pair anyway. So looking at EURUSD, I apologize if I'm a little bit tired, guys. Like I said, this is my third time doing this overview, so it's an hour and a half of looking at the same pairs and talking about them. Gets a little bit tiring. EURUSD, I really like this trade purely because what we can see quite clearly here. We've got this beautiful inducement here, which is obviously broken above these last 3 swing highs. It's absolutely smashed them. So lining up our fib from this low to this high, I've highlighted here to see how you can see these daily fib levels. I don't really necessarily draw daily support and resistance all the time now anymore. What I look for is to catch these swings, so to say, and use fib levels to really line up for me where I'm going to find sort of key areas. And you can see these levels here, how they've acted numerous times as either support or resistance for the pair. So the further we go, we've got this massive retracement coming back short here, but this is initially the first retest of this broken structure. We broke this sort of double top formation here. We never got a retest. We got this huge here. Yeah, sure, sellers still are potentially in the run, but we are forming this descending wedge here, leading into this final line of support to hold this pair. And you can see by here, this pure sort of consolidation above, in between these levels here, that did still provide this huge breakout. So it is a key area that we're coming into down here. I think the market seems to have opened. So yeah, it has. Jesus, let's see what's going on. EURUSD opening up very strong here. Obviously descending wedge coming into play. I'd like to buy from down here on these levels, but if we get a breakout, sure. But I'm not going to trade Asian session today, guys, so don't worry. But that's ideally where I'm looking for buys. But like I said, should we smash out through this truck structure and then get a retest, then I'm going to get long on that. But ideally down from this level here, which would be the support for this pair and numerous resistance. It'll be a strong level where we will get a lot of sort of buying pressure. If there are going to be buyers, they're lurking there, that's for sure. It's going to be an interesting video now. We got these forecast, we got these little gaps. See what's happening. EURJPY. Same thing. We've got it broken out of here of an ascending wedge, showing that there is some selling pressure coming in. Buyers are getting a little bit exhausted. Looking at the daily, we've still broken above this daily trend line structure. Broken out, we've retested. I think we may now break out of this descending wedge, test these lows one more time. This is a key area we need to break first. You can see that we bounced on this area. If we break these lows and we can find some sort of resistance up here. So I'm playing it like this, basically. I've got my fib drawn. I'm looking for a retracement up to retest broken ascending wedge structure here. Obviously, you can see this confluence with the 62 Fibonacci and also this level here. It acted as huge support for the pair here. It's held it down here, held it down here, held it down here, held it down here. It's held it down here. So a little bit lag there on that little chart movement. So what we're looking for is a retracement to this confluence area here, a retest, and then some downside to retest these lows. What that could potentially give us on the daily is obviously, we could have a nice W formation forming along some strong sort of areas of support, just to further continue on the double bottom and then up. Boo! That could definitely be something that's going to happen on EJ. But for now, I'm just going to look to play that short. I think there's a decent risk to reward on it. Again, a short-term trade. It could be a long-term trade. We really don't know. We'll see what catalysts there are in the market throughout the week. I do post all the economic news and all the fundamentals in the channel as well. But for now, that's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for some bearish price action around there. And, it does give us a nice full risk to reward again. So eyes on EJ. Again, it's a short-term trade. Not looking to hold this one. I do think that we're going to stay above this trend line structure and then have a continuation. This is just a pullback to retest liquidity in my mind. But that is, like I said, we're short. We have semi-risk on sort of forecast to begin the week, and then I'm sure there's going to be some vaccine news, or there's going to be something to pump the market and get all these risk-sensitive pairs rallying again as JPY and dollar drops off the cliff further. Same with EURUSD. I missed the buy on this one, unfortunately. We might get a retest on it. I've been calling this bearish flag formation forming within this this bullish flag formation forming within this channel. We have broken out of this channel now, and we are testing it see if we can find some support and broken channel. I've had buyers on this that keep getting stopped. We keep getting this sort of just sloppy price action. I do think that EURUSD is on its way to trend higher and potentially touch 1.46. It all really depends. I would have liked to have been in this one, if I'm honest with you, but we missed that. A couple of people saying head and shoulders forming. I don't know. Personally, it could potentially for sure. But if it does, then all I'm going to want to do is buy it more. If we do get a breakdown and we come, keep in mind, as long as this channel resistance turn support holds between this high, even if we come down, we test down here, test down. I don't care, man. You come anywhere down here and we still holding around here, I'm going to buy it straight up. That's my play. But for now, I'm going to be looking for longs on EURUSD unless this does prove to be a head and shoulders, and then I'm wrong. But again, keep in mind there is correlation with EJ, so short-term pullbacks are potentially possible. Do not discredit that, although we are slowly coming out of here, carving higher highs, and we're still carving lower highs. But we'll see if this forms a head and shoulders or not. But I ideally would be looking to go long on EU, even on any retest down here. You can see these levels I marked out, these highs here, that's our 62 retracement there of this leg. Nice confluence there. Taking longs off there is in my mind, is the best risk to reward for sure. Look at that, smash it. That would be great. If we could get an entry there, that would be sexy. But we have to wait and see. GA, not at my level. I'd like to short it, to be honest with you. Why I want to short it, purely because we're looking at, I highlighted this huge false break here. Obviously, we've had this huge false break. We've had this selling pressure all the way through, smashing, no levels holding whatsoever. And, we smashed through the bottom of this channel support coming in now. And now it looks like we're retesting it. So people buying it, keep that in mind. We are still retesting a huge broken structure here. And obviously with our fibs lining up from this high to this low, we have this 62 fib level. It's coming into play quite massively. It's lining up beautifully with this broken trend line structure. It's clearly held as support, here, resistance here. So if we do get any sort of, you can see we've got this sort of already here, the bearish rejection forming on the tweezer tops on the 0.5 fib. If we get any sort of price action coming up to these levels here, bit of a wider stop. Anything that coming up into these price levels here, and we see some rejection, I would like to sell this pair. You can see how I've been talking about buying it from down here for a while. Let me just try and move my chart. I've been talking about buying down on these levels for a while. Why I would like to do that is quite simply looking at the data. You can see this is a really strong level. It's a really strong level coming into play here. You know, it's kept it down there, held it, and it was the last sort of supportive structure before buyers just went boo and shot through the roof. So ideally, I'd like a liquidity grab down there, to be completely honest with you. I think that it's luring buyers in right now, but I think that, a lot of the GB pairs, if you watch the last video, have shown signs of kind of coming off their highs right now and showing a bit of weakness. So short term, we could see a bit of rise here with some Aussie strength, and then a pullback from there once we get some, that's what I would like to see. Bit of Aussie weakness to begin the week, and then a lot of Aussie strength, and then some huge continuation here for GA, at least down to these levels down here, and then potentially look for longs. But you can see how if we draw this Fibonacci from here to here, the Fibonacci target of negative 0.27 lines up beautifully with the top of this support level, which I'm looking to buy from. So for me, that's sort of a good complement for a good sort of trade. And as you can see, again, full risk to reward. So you get a nice little reward on that if you're risking 2%. I'm probably going to get in this trade. Let's see if we can see some price action around there. Hopefully it doesn't happen in Asian session tonight, because that would suck, because I'm going to bed early. But hopefully we do get up to these levels, and that turns out that could be a really tasty trade for 523 pips. Obviously this is a key level we need to make sure that we break below. Should we see any sort of rejection here, we need to break this level here, break these lows back down below these lows, but also just make sure that we're not carving a new high here. So we would need to break this level here, which I've marked in this blue zone, get a retest, and then hopefully melt. So that's GA. That's how I'd like to play it. Let's see. I know people are already buying this short term. What else did I want to look at? No. Yeah, S&P looks fucking strong. Yeah, wow, look at that. Jesus. See how I was talking about this in Ronan's group, and you can see how it's closed above this level here. So it's closed above these highs. So we could definitely see some more continuation on the S&P here. Right, gold. Gold was the last one I wanted to talk about. All right. Goldie. All right. So let's start this again, so we can see some clear targets. All right. I'll get rid of my little scribbles. 2 seconds. No, that's the trend line. Actually, we'll just leave the scribbles. All right, so gold, if I can get the chart looking a bit better. So obviously we've been calling this pretty perfectly. Whenever we have traded it, we've always been on the money with it. Now, yes, it does look like it's closed above some really key levels. It's closed above some huge levels, and it's lining up to potentially what in my mind could even see 1840. You have to just remember with gold, we take a risk every time we buy it, just purely because of where it's at. These ridiculous highs, you never know, the market could rip it down, so we need to be careful with it. We need to make sure that everything's right. So you need to always make sure the price action you're monitoring is perfect. So how do we play gold from this level here? Quite simply, we just need to make sure we are confident that we're above key levels. So let's highlight some key levels first. Obviously, the first key level we really need to pay attention to is let me get my brush. Is this channel which has been formed here. Obviously, we've seen these trend line touches. We've definitely confirmed that this is an important level of resistance within the channel. We've smashed through that now, and now we are also holding above that channel. So not only did we break channel resistance, we've also closed above channel resistance. Not only that, but that channel resistance where we are seeing here, the confluence of that, whoa, art attack or something. The confluence of those highs, as you can see, we've closed above these highs even here, right? Going all the way back to December 2011, we've closed above these highs, which confluences with the top of that channel resistance, right? So now we know that, we can expect that, it's obviously holding quite a lot of bullish strength. Jesus, what's going on here? Fucking hell, 1999. I don't see that shit. So where can we realistically look for gold to go? Well, let's highlight this, let's highlight these wicks and the bodies of these upper candles here. That's quite a nice area where we could definitely be looking for gold to head to. Obviously now we've closed above these highs, don't forget. So we're holding above these highs. Where does this area line up to perfectly? Oh, what a surprise. We've got our sort of swing Fibonacci level here. So if we just drag that up, let's look here, put our level there. Closing above, as long as we have some bullish price action and we remain above these levels, I definitely see gold swinging all the way up to, what's that level? Get rid of this. What the fuck is this? USD. 1838, we bring stops to there below the level. Juicy little trade there for sure. My trading view, I don't know what I've done here. I don't know what this means, why it's stuck on that. But anyway, that's what we're looking for. We're just looking, if gold stays above this level here, we could definitely see an upward move to the 1840 level. And looking at the monthly again, you can see that level definitely seems possible. So how do you want to play it? Purely watch this level, make sure this level holds, make sure these highs, if we stay above these highs, stay above these highs, stay above this trend line structure, we have a very good bullish chance here. You can see it's finding a lot of support here. So you don't even need this sort of crazy stop. Just bring that stop to here, because if it breaks down this low, then it's going to retest down here. So let's see if it holds. If it does hold, another good little trade there. I do think it's possible to reach up to this zone here, up to these levels. As I said, we have broken above a lot of key levels here, and we are holding above them. This is a huge confluence here, guys. But yeah, honestly, guys, that's it. Sorry again for the delay. Hopefully, it wasn't too scrappy. As I said, this is my third time doing it. But please do like, comment, subscribe. I'm doing all this stuff for you guys free so you can learn. All I ask is you guys just help spread the word and help get us out there, because that's what we really want at the end of the day. But let's kill the markets this week. I think it's going to be a good week. I'm going to continue on from last week, and we're going to have a fantastic July. I can feel it, guys. Anyway, take it easy. Peace.